your skills. Look, boy, you in the danger room. Yeah, you in the danger room.
What's going on, guys? Just want to make a quick video. Well, this one might be fairly long regarding different artifacts and things. So this particular video will be about the tank artifacts. I know bonus week is fastly approaching. It might be this week coming up, might be next week, but I know it will be here before the next episode drops. So let's start off with some tank artifacts. The first artifact is going to be Manacles of Force. This, I feel, is the most needed tank artifact in the game. Everything else, minus Mystic Symbols of 7, is your extra slot, essentially, but going over Manacles of Force. Manacles of Force, the effect is following: capable of blunting the strongest attacks. These manacles put you into an unshakable state for 5 seconds. When an attack damages you for at least 30% of your health. The effects, I have this at 200. The effects are: absorbs 50% of your incoming damage and repels it over the next 5 seconds. Cooldowns 45 seconds. That's of your shields. When unshakable is triggered, the following ability cooldowns are reset: Density, Gemstone Shield, Emulation, Redirected Rage, and Winter Ward. Those are your primary shields in the tank role, if you're fire, earth, whatever that might be. All shield cooldowns are reduced by 10 seconds as well. So I find this to be the most beneficial tank artifact they have currently out there. So if you do not have this artifact as a tank, I would highly recommend it. But that's just my suggestion. I run it. You don't have to run it, but I would suggest it. The next artifact we'll go over is Mystic Symbols of the 7. The effects are as the following: the power of the symbols embelled the user, granting them to following bonuses. When hit by an enemy, increase defense by 3, 3, 3, and 5% at 200 for each enemy within a 5-yard maximum. 15, 15, 15, and 20% at 200. Increase healing received by 10%. Regenerate a small amount of health based on restoration each time you are struck by an enemy. 0.25 second cooldown. So essentially, all you do is you get hit by enemies, you have ads coming at you, you get healed, and your defense increases. The next artifact we will go over is going to be Circe's Mask. And the effects of Circe's Mask are the following: when your shield is broken, your incoming heals is increased by 10, 20, 20, 30% at 200 for 4, 5, 5, 6 seconds. Additional stuns up to 2, 2, 5, and 5% enemies. So essentially, you have a shield up, your shield expires, either, it goes off cooldown, and or your shield breaks. You get to stun enemies, depending on which rank you have it at, either 2 enemies or 5 enemies, and you get increased healing for a percentage and an increased duration, depending on what rank you have this particular artifact at. Next artifact we will go over is the Everyman Prototype. The Everyman Prototype's effects are the following: genetic alteration causes your skin to harden when your life is threatened, giving you defense equal to a percentage of your max health value when your health gets low. Okay, self-explanatory. Health regen bonuses at 75% to 51%. You gain 0, 0, 2, and 4% at 200 of max health, converted to defense. I'm sorry. It's a little bright in my room at the moment. 50% to 31%, you gain 3, 6, 6, and then 9% at 200 of max health converted to defense. And if you happen to get 30% or lower, you gain 6, 9, 9, and 12% of your maximum health converted to defense. So basically, the lower your health is, the more beneficial this particular artifact will work for you. So it's not really feasible unless you get it to at least 160, because primarily as a tank, you might stay between 75 and 51%. Well, rather upper 80s to half. Anything less than that, you should honestly get healed instantly from your healer. So it's one of those artifacts that help you out in a pinch. I don't particularly run it because I don't want to rely on an artifact that I can only use if I'm dying. The next artifact is going to be Eye of the Gemini. I'm not going to read everything about it. I'm just going to read what fits for the tank role, because this artifact works for every single role: DPS, trolling, tanking, healing. So the following effects are: while in combat, using a supercharge will attract Caster's Watch or Pollux Gaze, depending on your role, with a duration of 4, 4, 6, and 6 seconds at rank 200, and cooldown of 6 seconds. So for this instance, we are going to be a tank. So tank roll restores 3% health and 0 to 2% at 200 supercharge every second. While Caster's Watch expires, all allies within it will be healed for the amount of health restored by Caster's Watch. Standing in any Caster's Watch grants you 0, 0, 0, and then finally at 205% dominance, health, and restoration. So that is the effect of Eye of the Gemini. It is a great third artifact if you happen to be running a supercharge. I would highly recommend it. Lots of powers, like Earth doesn't really have anything to heal themselves with. So if you pop a supercharge, you get to heal yourself, you gain supercharge back, you gain supercharge to the group, you can heal the group as well. So it is a very handy artifact. Now let's go over to John Constantine and look at some other
Phantom
tank
Stranger's a bit out of
artifacts.
touch with reality, but he's okay. I think he predates humor, though.
I believe first up is the Lasso artifact. So I'm gonna not read the whole thing. These descriptions can get very long, and I have about 5 other artifacts to go through. So a basic synopsis of it is it works with the mesmerizing lasso iconic ability. It tethers your NPCs minus your boss. It doesn't tether your boss. It tethers your NPCs, and you gain healing upon it. So the damage received to those NPCs, you gain back. So at rank 80, you get no healing. At rank 120 and 160, you gain 1% of all damage done to the enemies that are tethered. You gain that back as healing. And at 200, you gain 2% of all of that damage back in healing to yourself. So the next artifact, we will scroll down here. Okay. It is going to be the Legionnaire's Sparring AI. Not a lot of tanks run it. It was one of the first artifacts that dropped. I personally don't recommend it. So basically, countering an enemy increases your precision and weapon DPS by 10, 14, 16, and 18% at 200 for a short time, and grants you immunity to control effects for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds at 200. That's all it does. So if you are a precision battle tank, or it's primarily for DPS as well, you would use this artifact. I believe there was a couple more artifacts for tanking. We have the Refractor. The Refractor gives you increased health when you use a pull. So you gain health equal to 11.5, 15.5, 17.5, and 19.25 of your dominance is converted to health. This effect is 5, 15, 30, and 50% more effective in tank role. And I believe there is one more tank artifact. Go to booster gold. I believe I'm in the wrong vendor, am I not? Should be in this one. Yes, it is this one. And the next artifact is going to be the Lazarus Pit water. It is not as in a dire situation. It is more in a dire situation rather than Everyman prototype. Essentially, you have to die to use this artifact. So, getting this ranked up, the Lazarus Pit's effects are the following. You can use Revive to rally yourself once every 12 hours, 4 hours, 1 hour, and 15 minutes at rank 200. So essentially, if you die, you can revive yourself. Nobody needs to pick you up. So it might come in handy in some elite content, but I personally wouldn't recommend it because there are other more useful artifacts you don't have to wait until you die to use. And my apologies, I completely forgot about this particular artifact. And that is the new artifact that just dropped. It is the Clarion. The effects are of the following. Using the power of the Clarion, executing a weapon attack heals up to 4 nearby players with the lowest health for a percent. I'm not going to read all that now. Of your priority heal. Don't mind priority heal, that's just the basis of it. You are a tank. That doesn't mean you need a priority heal for the artifact to work. This effect is temporary and powered when activating your weapon buff. So if you happen to choose to use this particular artifact, you should put a weapon buff in your loadout so that your healing will be increased. And it increased quite drastically from the 3.5 to now 15% and then 30% at rank 200. Next effect is Clarion's Guard. When you are empowered by weapon buff, targets above 90% health, essentially they get a shield, and that shield's strength increases once you get to 200. It increases by 100%. Players can only benefit from this every 30 seconds, so every 30 seconds someone else will get a shield. Preferably if you were running in a alert, everybody would get a shield, then 30 seconds nobody would get a shield, then they'll get the shield again every 30 seconds. And if you're running a raid, 4 people will get it, then another 4 people back to you again. So that is Clarion's Guard. Aaron's Might. When you are empowered by a weapon buff, weapon attacks deal a percent of your restoration and a percent of your precision as damage to all enemies near your target foe every 6 seconds. So essentially, you get more precision damage. But for the purpose of tanking, we are more focused on Clarion's Guard for the shielding aspect, as well as Restorative Melody for healing yourself and group members as well. So those are some, if not all, the tank artifacts, if I'm not mistaken. So choose what you like to level up. What I recommend to everybody is that you know the artifact before you level it up. Read it, make sure it fits your playstyle. If you have to adjust your playstyle, do so accordingly so the artifact works for you. My particular choice in artifacts that I run is going to be Manacles of Force, Mystic Symbols of the 7, and I have Eye of the Gemini leveled up because I enjoy that healing. I enjoy giving the group supercharge as well. So I hope this is helpful for those that are tanks and do not quite know what artifacts to level up this coming bonus week. Hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, drop a comment below. Share the video. I will get back to you guys if you have any questions. and I'll catch you guys on the next one.